I refused to give my seat 70 years before Rosa Parks, and here's my story. I was born to James and Elizabeth Wells on July 16, 1862, in Holly Springs, Mississippi. No one could have predicted that I would play a significant role in changing history. My parents were slaves. My dad worked as a carpenter and my mom was a cook. The Civil War ended when I was 3 years old. After the war, my dad ran a carpentry business. My father made sure we attended a school started by the Methodists in Holly Springs. My parents died of yellow fever when I was 16, my parents and baby brother died of yellow fever, and I became in charge of the family. I became a teacher and was also responsible for the chores at home. It wasn't easy. I was treated unfairly and wrote about these things in the church paper. By 1889, I stopped working as a teacher and became a newspaper reporter. I went under the name of Iola. I spent a good deal of time trying to get justice for black men and women. I wrote articles about the violence against black people to spread the news. Something had to be done to stop the violence. My friend, Thomas Moss, was hung by the neck for running a more successful grocery store than his white competitor. That was called lynching. Thousands of black men, women, and children had been lynched. On June 27, 1895, I married Ferdinand Lee Barnett. He was a newspaper publisher. I had 4 children, Charles, Herman, Ida, and Alfred. My baby Charles went with me to speak all over the country about the violence against black people. I spoke out for women's rights along with Susan B. Anthony. Susan B. Anthony said to me not to get married because I had a special call to do special work. I both raised my family and never stopped fighting for equal rights. I was a part of starting a group called the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Something had to be done about all these lynching, burnings, and beatings. I worked hard to make a difference. By 1920, I finally saw women have the right to vote. By 1930, lynching was no longer common. Those were the 2 most important things I fought for, and finally, it happened. I died on March 25, 1931, in Chicago, Illinois. I will always be remembered for fighting for equal rights for both black people and women. I was a part of making America a better place.